One of the reasons forgiveness is such a road opener is because when you're holding on to something that no longer exists or is currently happening, you put yourself at risk of seeing things through that old perspective and reacting from that same place, even when you're not aware of it. Regulating your nervous system is important because your nervous system is what will more than likely trigger your body, which will then trigger your emotional state and your mind, which will then trigger your behavior and responses to match what your body is feeling. And if you're not in tune with your body and you're not really seeing your body as a living, breathing organism, not just you looking at yourself, the identity of who you are in the mirror, but like the same way you have to water your plants for them to stay alive and grow, the same way you have to fertilize the soil for crops to grow. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to be able to read the moods of your body, including the aches, the pains, and the emotional reactions, because they're all related to how you show up. And when you learn to forgive from a more scientific, alchemic, I don't even think alchemic is a word, so just flow with me here, standpoint, alchemical standpoint. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry, I'm just like, how the hell did I even come up with that weird-ass word? Because anything I post, I really, really, really try to like make it clear and concise. So I'm like, the hell? But basically put from an alchemical standpoint, from a transformational, change my life standpoint, dropping all the energetic and somatic, which is bodily baggage, along with the mental and spiritual, and however you want to slice it, all the ways you can forgive in every reality and dimension, the more space you clear on your hard drive and room you make in your life for all of the things that you actually do want to come through. You may not know what comes through first, but things that you might have been wanting for years, even decades, even lifetimes, those things will come through when you start to learn how to forgive faster, when you start to understand that not everybody is aware, when you start to understand that not everybody is going to ever be able of being aware, and that you just have to, it's not that you have to accept everyone for who they are, like you're doing that anyway, you have like, that's just like default, but you just kind of understand how their worldview interacts with their reality, and then how to interact with them when they're interacting with your reality, so that all that frazzle dazzle in their frequency doesn't get into yours. And a lot of times, the person that needs forgiveness, not only do they not give a fuck about whether or not you forgive them, they're really not going to care until they see how minuscule you've made the situation, or until they see how you've literally used that situation to pivot and thrive and be better than anyone could have ever expected, with the exception of yourself, because you've always been that person. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying this just for women, just for men, just for whoever you are. I don't care how you identify. I don't care your skin color, none of that. Peep it. Peep it for what it is. Forgiving people sometimes isn't easy. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying that if you are having a hard time forgiving somebody, that you have to forgive them right this second. But a lot of times when you forgive and you do it strategically and you lean into whatever you believe will work for you the best, and it works, you will see rapid changes in your relationship dynamic with that person, with a lot of other people, more peace within yourself. And you'll also see that being at the top of your game means knowing how to have great days in the midst of crisis. Because the thing is that a lot of people around you, their worlds are still going to fall apart. They're not going to stay together just because, you're able to keep yours together and to create and evolve beautiful things for yourself. Other people are still going to be where they're at. It's kind of like moving to a different apartment. If they never leave that apartment, if they never leave that building, if they never leave that block, then you could take them to the top floor, but that's still all they're going to see. This is the same with your perspective and your knowledge. You got to understand that a lot of people are still in the buildings you moved out of. And once you really, really see that, sit with it, sit with yourself, and figure out how to best move with that with kindness and boundaries and grace and charisma. But totally learning to forgive, because you can actually see from a bird's eye view, they don't know better. And just because they don't know better doesn't mean that you have to forgive them and look them back in your face. It doesn't mean that they have to know you even forgave them. They can think that you hate them. But here's the truth. They can think what they want, but if the energy isn't there, you're not home in that residency anymore. So, residence, but you know what I mean. So, I'm going to stop there and hope you have a good one. Forgive. Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Even if you got to say, thank you for showing me that I deserve better than this. Please forgive me for dancing in this BS with you. Thank you. I love you. Oh, I'm sorry for putting myself through what I put myself through with you. And I love you for showing me not to ever do this again. Like, if you want to be petty like that, that still works. Or you can just look at yourself in the mirror or say to yourself, or the parts of yourself that, didn't know better, that if you knew then what you knew now, this wouldn't have ever happened, but you're here now. So hug the little person inside of you and say, listen, thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. However it works. But forgive so you can get your blessings and move around.